Hi guys, this is Mr. Perry, and today we're going to talk about the 7 principles of the U.S. Constitution, better known as FLIPRCS, F-L-I-P-R-C-S, FLIPRCS. So today we're going to go ahead and jump right into it, what you are expected to do today. You will be asked to complete a whisk after watching a video. Now keep in mind you will watch more than one video, and you may not always be asked to do a video whisk, but make sure that you are paying attention to each video just in case you're asked to do a whisk afterwards. And quite naturally, you know that whisk means to watch the video. S means to give me a summary of the video in 3 sentences or less. And then quite naturally, you will need to have 2 questions after watching the video. Keep in mind, you always have to have questions. It helps me to understand how you're processing the information. Now, keep in mind that the video will pause and ask you questions and allow for you to ask me questions and also for discussion to help clear up any of your misconceptions. So let's go ahead and get started. So in the beginning, we have federalism, which is a system of government in which the power is divided or shared between a central government and smaller political units such as states. Now keep in mind that the word federal means government. Federal means government. So keep in mind, federal means government. Federalism is a system of government in which the power is divided or shared between a central government and 2 smaller political units such as states. Next, we have limited government. Look at President Barack Obama right there. Limited government is the type of government that is based on the idea that those in the government, such as the president, like President Barack Obama, must obey the law and are subject to the rule of law like any other citizen. Keep in mind, the rule of law. The rule of the law is that everyone is above the law. That everyone must follow and obey the law, but no one is above the law. So let's watch a really quick YouTube video to see an example of limited government. Just waiting on our internet to get up here. Do 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 do. Oh, here comes our video.
These occurred within the last year. So this one involves the Skokie Police Department, and this type of activity is not going to be tolerated. We appreciate police that protect and serve, but those that abuse their privilege and commit police brutality, that will be handled. And this is going to be an example right here. About 2 weeks ago, I uploaded a video and showed you this footage where this woman was shoved into this area by a police officer. Her face was busted. She had to have surgery. Well, I'm happy to say that the police officer has been charged with a felony. And so this is going to be an example right here.
This is the moment a DUI suspect became a victim of police brutality, according to the Cook County State's Attorney. I don't have any comment. The Skokie officer in the video, 43-year-old Michael Hart, pled not guilty to felony aggravated battery and official misconduct charges and said little after his release on $75,000 bail. However, State's Attorney Anita Alvarez made it clear she saw an officer who crossed the line.
Criminal charges clearly were warranted.
The incident happened in March. 47-year-old Cassandra Feuerstein was arrested on drunk driving charges. The state's attorney's office says Officer Hart was upset because Feuerstein ignored his orders during processing. The video shows the 19-year veteran forcing the West Rogers Park woman into the cell. She would hit her head on the metal bench. Feuerstein released this statement after Officer Hart was charged, saying, "My family and I are relieved by the news today. I've never been interested in revenge, but I was the victim of a crime in the Skokie police station that left me seriously injured, and I believe that Officer Hart should be treated the same as anyone else who commits a crime." Feuerstein suffered facial fractures. She had a titanium plate inserted into her cheek and required reconstructive surgery for her injuries, according to the state's attorney's office.
When defendants are in a police station, yes, they are there, they are under the control of the police, but they're also under the care of the police. And we believe that Officer Hart stepped over that line.
And he's a good cop.
Officer Hart's attorney admitted to only seeing this small portion of that jailhouse video, but he is convinced the raw footage will prove his client is innocent.
I believe we will see that the complaining witness resisted a lawful order of a police officer. It was appropriate to get her to be in a lockup.
Wow, that was pretty intense. But it does go to show you that even the police are supposed to be held to the same standard as citizens. No one is above the law. That's limited government. We're limiting how much power the government actually has. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video for a moment, and you are going to answer the following 3 questions. Who has the most power, the states or the government? Number 2, can the governor of Texas at the age of 40 pass a law stating that all drivers must be under the age of 35 and still drive his car every day? And then also, write one question that you have about the video on limited government. That would be the video with the police officer who shoved the woman into the jail cell. Take out the time now as I pause the video to prepare to answer the questions. Okay, guys, I hope you had enough time to answer your questions. We're going to go ahead and move forward on FLIPRCS. Next, we have individual rights that are listed in the first 10 amendments to the Constitution of the United States. Now, let me stop right there to explain. The word amendment, right? These are the first 10 amendments, which are known as the Bill of Rights. The first 10 amendments are called the Bill of Rights. What are the first 10 amendments called? That's correct. Okay, so let's take a moment to look at what does the word amend mean? The word amend means to change. So think about it. These are the first 10 changes to the United States Constitution. They allow for due process of law. Due process means that there must be a process or procedure that is followed from the beginning to the end. Back in the old days of the king could simply say, hey, I heard that you robbed a store. Guess what? I'm going to put you in jail forever and walk away and you never see this guy again. But what happens is that now there has to be an entire process before you're found innocent or guilty. First, there has to be a crime. There has to be an arrest made by the police officers. The police officers then have to read you your rights. Then they take you down and book you. They fingerprint you, take a picture of you. They allow you an opportunity to call your lawyer. After that, you're given an opportunity to go to an arraignment hearing where you can see a judge within 72 hours and tell the judge whether or not you want to plead innocent or guilty. After that, you may or may not be afforded bail, which is right here. You may or may not be afforded bail, right? You have an option for a fair and speedy trial, which means you have to see a judge within 72 hours. It also means that you can't just be put in jail today and never see a judge or go to trial for a year. That's completely illegal. But after you've seen the judge, you've entered your plea, you see the judge. If the judge allows you to have bail, then you get to decide whether or not you want to have a trial by judge or a trial by jury, right? That is a part of your due process. After you've decided whether or not you want to have a trial by judge or jury, then you actually have your trial. Again, it has to be fair and speedy, which means that it has to be fair by allowing you to have a lawyer or an attorney to represent you. And it has to be speedy, which means that the government does not give the prosecutor or the people bringing charges against you an indefinite amount of time to gather evidence on you, because if they do that, they give them so much time, which means that you're held in jail forever and ever, and that violates your right to a speedy trial right here, right to your speedy trial. They are known as the Bill of Rights. Quite naturally, you have, again, freedom of speech, which does not mean you have the right to say anything. It originates from the king, when we had a king ruling over our country. You could not just simply speak out against the king, right? If you went outside and said, hey, I hate that king, you get killed right away. But fortunately, you live in a country that allows you to speak out against your leaders. So you can walk outside and say, I don't like Mr. Perry, or I don't like President Barack Obama, or I don't like the governor of Texas. And guess what? There will be no punishment to that because you have freedom of speech. You have no excessive bail, which means that it takes forever to get you out of jail. Or the bail is set too high. For instance, if you stole a pack of bubble gum, would $5,000 be a fair amount to get you out of jail? Yes or no? Nah, I don't think so. Right? You also have the right to bear arms and fair punishment in the event that you are found guilty. There has to be a fair punishment. If you are found guilty of stealing a pack of gum, do you think 25 years in jail is fair? Nah, I don't think so either. All right, let's go ahead and look at our video on Bill of Rights. We're going to go ahead and click over to YouTube. I don't even think that's a video I really want to watch. Let's go ahead and close that video out. Let's go back to this one up here. This is the video I want you guys to watch. All right, here we go. Internet's moving just a wee bit slow, but we're almost there. Okay. The video's coming on.
The first 10 amendments to the U.S. Constitution, also known as the Bill of Rights, were ratified or passed over 200 years ago.
200 years ago.
Even though they're a bit, well, old, these first 10 amendments are still the most debated and discussed section of our Constitution today. So can you remember what they are? Let's take a look. The First Amendment is the freedom of speech, press, religion, assembly, and petition.
Raps.
This may be the most revered of the amendments. The First Amendment protects our rights to say and write our opinions, worship how we please, assemble together peacefully, and petition our government if we feel the need. The Second Amendment is the right to bear arms. The original intent of the Second Amendment was to protect colonists from the invading British soldiers, but it now guarantees that you have the right to own a gun to defend yourself and your property. The Third Amendment is called the Quartering Amendment. It was written in response to the British occupation and as a result of the colonists having to house or quarter soldiers in their homes during the American Revolution. Because of this amendment, our government can never force us to have soldiers in our home. The Fourth Amendment is the right to search and seizure. The police can't come into our home without a search warrant and take our personal property. Today, many concerns have arisen about our rights to privacy and technology. For example, can the government track the location with your smartphone, or can social media postings such as on Facebook and Twitter be used without a warrant? On to the fifth. It's all about due process. You probably heard the phrase, I plead the fifth, in movies or on TV. They're talking about the Fifth Amendment, which says that you don't have to take the witness stand against yourself if you may end up incriminating yourself. Okay, we're halfway done. The Sixth and Seventh Amendments are about how the legal system works. If you're accused of a crime, you have the right to a speedy public trial and an impartial jury. You also have the right to a lawyer and the right to take the stand if you choose. This is important because it will prevent the accused from sitting in prison forever and insist that the prosecution proceed with undue delay. The Seventh says you have the right to a jury trial, where 12 impartial peers decide your innocence or guilt in the courtroom, as opposed to a judge doing it all alone. The Eighth Amendment prohibits cruel and unusual punishment. Is a death penalty cruel? Is it unusual? It's hard for Americans to agree on the definitions of cruel and unusual. The Ninth and Tenth Amendments are called the non-rights amendments. They say that the rights not listed in the Bill of Rights are retained by the people in the states. You have other rights that are not listed in the Constitution, and the states have the right to make their own policies, like instituting state taxes. So, now you know all 10 amendments. Can you remember them all? If not, remember this. The Bill of Rights are a crucial piece of American history, and though society has undergone many changes these past 200 and some years, the interpretation and application of these amendments are as vital today as they were when they were written.
Okay, that was a pretty cool video on the Bill of Rights.